You need to look at past feedback from the marking centres. And let's look at some of the key ideas. They said highly developed responses engage directly with the question. That is an absolute no-brainer. You will find yourself around the C range if you don't answer the question. Don't just top and tail. That is, learn your essay off by heart. First opening paragraph, last paragraph, answer the question. The rest doesn't fit. You can't get there like that. You need to actually be conceptual rather than just describe. You have to explain, analyse, evaluate. You personally engage with the question. And lastly, you show a control of language, and more importantly, you make links between your texts. So you ask these questions right from the beginning. In the text I'm studying, including my related text, what is being discovered? What's the type of discovery? Is it rediscovery, for example, or a new discovery? How is it discovered? Why is it discovered? And by whom is it being discovered? What happens after it? What's the impact? Are there speculations for future discoveries? And what are your discoveries? That's probably the most important thing of all. You now need to identify the central ideas of your prescribed text and your text of own choosing in relation to discovery. What are they saying about how individuals respond to discovery and why? What does this reveal about the overarching message and the key ideas of the text? Do you know the one thing you need to do? Uncover that key moment in your text, or that key line, or that key image in the film. And you'll get the overarching idea first about discovery. So for me in The Tempest, there is this amazing line where Prospero looks at Caliban the monster and says, "This thing of darkness I acknowledge mine," where he's actually talking immediately about, in fact, self-discovery. Not only is the monster dark, but he is dark himself. And it links beautifully into the context of Renaissance humanism. So you need a thesis or line of argument in response to the question. The question drives everything. It's the framework now and drivers for your extended response. It integrates your response. And you must support and challenge your line of argument through the question with textual evidence. So high-range responses will use key terms of the question to create a thesis. Don't ignore it. If the key word in there is curiosity or a key word is rediscovery, you make sure it appears in your thesis and it appears in your essay. You're going to have at least one or two supporting arguments to further the thesis. And your topic sentences, each time you do prescribed and move to another text, will signpost the ideas and build your argument. And then you need to integrate across your texts. I'm going to put out a word of warning here. Many teachers use the technique of peel. That is, they go point, topic, sentence, then they ask you to give an example or evidence, explain it, and link back to your concept. That will lift you. It'll lift you, definitely lift the way you write essays, but it'll put a lid on the top students. You've got to be very careful, because what you can just do is repeat your thesis every single time you finish a text. There's nothing more boring to a marker than just reading repeated sentences. So you've got to further your ideas. So I want you to imagine your opening paragraph for me. Thesis through the question, one or two ideas through the text, why this is so. First part of your essay, first idea. Your prescribed text, your text of own choosing. Second idea, your prescribed text, text of own choosing. How easy is that? Essays are not hard. They're far easier than doing a whole lot of other things for English. You need judicious textual support. That's marking from the marking centre language. Judicious means well chosen. For example, you don't just use the same scene or the same poem that everyone else in your class is doing. Try to find those moments that speak to you. Don't just get shallow examples. Support with analysis of language features or film techniques, whatever it is the text is using, and evaluate them. Don't just list them. Actually look at the meaning. Little trick. Don't start with the technique. Don't say the metaphor, example, conveys the idea. Start with the idea first, then give the example, and then again talk about the meaning and the technique. Begin with the idea or meaning, explain and evaluate the meaning, and integrate into analysis and evaluation of the text. You need cohesion in an essay. I want you to think about when you use something like a navman in your car. It guides you to where you're going. That's what you're doing for an HSC marker or your teacher. You're navigating through your essay. Your topic sentences signpost your ideas. But you're also going to use connecting words. You're going to make connection through the text, through the thesis and ideas, similarities and difference between the text, the characters, key incidents, even the act of representation, in other words, the language that's used. Connecting words are your best friend in essay writing. Furthermore, moreover, in contrast, alternatively. There's so many different words that you can use that allow your essay and your ideas to keep going. In other words, you're pushing your marker through the essay. Just as in creative writing, the verbs are the muscles of your writing, they are the muscles of your essay. So instead of always using conveys or explains, why not try and throw in and elevate your language? I mean, listen to a couple of these. Explicates, sounds great anyway. Expounds, promulgates, proffers, ascribes, posits, advances, affirms. There's so many. But don't repeat the same one over and over again. Play with them.